everyone, welcome back to Team Frostbite's reactions for RWBY Volume 7.
Let's watch.
In the last episode, we got an invitation for dinner.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Din-dins.
I wonder what this episode's gonna be about, guys. I wonder.
Well, following by their history of cliffhangers, not about the dinner.
Yeah. I liked...
Well, at least we know it was a dinner and there was no thumb on it.
I liked
so
Raymond's
at least we
idea
know.
where this episode starts and they're leaving the dinner.
Oh my god.
That would honestly make this my favorite episode of the season. Just that. If it starts with them walking away from Schnee Manor, like, that was some good
I'm
turkey.
surprised he didn't backstab us. What a nice guy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Also, like, your mom looks good, you know?
Tastes like turkey.
Ooh.
Oh god, with the off-screen fake-out mom reveal?
Yeah, like, your mom looked really good. I'm glad she's better, or something like that.
Yeah.
Oops.
She had such a... What amazing conversations we had with Klein today.
I'm sure glad we actually cleared up the entire plot with Jock in that time.
Yeah.
And I was surprised Willie got on his knees like that to apologize. I'm happy for you.
And you've been reinstated as the... In fact, Jock has stepped down and just handed the company to you, Weiss.
Yang actually...
Yeah, he has more important things to do now that he's on the council, which apparently was a legitimate win.
Yang actually proposed to Blake, which is pretty awesome, if you ask me. But
No, we're coming straight to the wedding
Ren,
right now.
so it's going to be a double wedding.
No, it just implies all that, and they don't even acknowledge the dinner. They're just at Blake and Yang's wedding.
It's just... That'll be my favorite.
It's like after 6 months of planning.
God, could you imagine, we open the episode, they're on a completely different continent. They're in the desert part of the world, and we're like, what
they're over in Vacuo. They're hanging out with Team Coffee.
And they don't mention it.
Weiss is holding 3 relics, like in her backpack, and they're all sticking
and a
out.
baby child.
And then you see Salem with a halo playing Monopoly
we should
in
start
heaven.
the episode eventually.
I didn't. She died.
All right, enough of this silliness. Enough of something completely different.
Ghosts of Christmas.
That was a good time.
Yeah.
Let's do this, people. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alrighty. Cordially invited. Schnee by the banquet hall.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
Yes. Oh, Schnee Manor, the banquet hall. No.
All right. Yeah, but on his terms.
What do you think, Blake?
Going to be locked in a room at his rival's to moderate, but all that really means is he'll be the one controlling the conversation.
Oh, Blake, that's so like you. Oh, there she is. Never mind.
Believe he won. Robin was supposed to be the people's champion, wasn't he? Coincidences.
You really think your dad might have something to do with Salem?
What is that?
Whatever it takes to win.
Isn't that
Win what?
What?
English, fat man.
What?
I guess the council seat.
Yeah.
Snoop around the house and not be questioned.
Yang sure jumped to a conclusion there.
I think we should know what it is.
Why are you using your dad? Just say your dad.
Because
like,
out of respect for her, she doesn't consider him a father.
Oh, is that Schnee Manor? We finally have a far shot of it. Nice.
Crow.
Why are they there?
Are those hovers?
I guess.
Are there hover cars? There's no wheels. Okay, so they hover.
Yeah, they hover. I thought that used up precious dust you needed for Amity. He doesn't?
Is that a... Look at that raptor.
I know what she meant, but like, I just think that's a funnier idea. She just doesn't get paid.
She's a tiny dinosaur in a car.
This entire time she's just been an intern. That's why we don't know her rank.
What an interesting way to say, hello, dear brother. How... I'm afraid.
See, that was actually way more natural.
He was let go. I can't.
Yeah, that was... What? Oh, he's...
General,
wow.
Exactly how
They just... Did he have a scheduling conflict?
I happen to know it's... in case the council requests additional eyewitnesses.
I mean...
Until then, I'm
no context.
J. Michael 10. Well, hello. He let her escape.
So we're gonna finally learn what the council does, or, you know, like, who they are. Who are all these people? They press? Are they...
the upper
Why did
crust
none of you dress up for this?
Society. That was a really nice animation. Can I just say the animation on Whitley? Is that his name? Whiteley?
Yeah.
Whiteley. Really nice animation. Like the little hand gestures.
Oh wow, are they?
Oh, they're not even being subtle anymore.
No thanks. I think I'll just.
That's like more overt than any of the shipping fuel they gave Yang and Blake.
Oh, he actually turned down a drink. Good for him.
Yeah, that was actually really good.
Right. Well, don't wander off. Roll calls on you.
And don't murder any political candidates. Had enough of that reason.
How about we do wander off, consider breaking things, and then all that other stuff.
I'll be in touch.
What?
Is that a Bluetooth thing?
What?
Apparently, yeah.
Use this time to catch up.
Wait! You went out the ground floor door and came down the stairs?
He quickly ran up the stairs.
just so he can walk down and say, "Dear sister."
It's part of his semblance.
Ruby, protect your wife.
Is that an Oreo?
That already.
It's a party.
That might have been an Oreo.
Okay.
So there's only three
Robin's here.
people?
Robin's here?
Yeah, Robin's here. She's by the window.
Wait.
Oh, by the window.
What?
What is she doing here?
Why is she here? They're definitely going to betray and kill everyone here.
Figure of yours is precisely why we're grateful to have you with us tonight.
See, I said it with a V this time.
I see the G-Man has made his appearance.
What we're all doing here, James, addressing the means we have much to discuss.
Indeed.
What?
The seating arrangement.
I do recall some confusion regarding her involvement.
As the official report stated, that footage was doctored. Penny is
doctored. I have something to raise about that footage.
Concerning?
Hopefully I remember.
You control.
We need to do something.
What was that earlier about breaking?
Murder.
Break his legs.
Well, Whitley, I'm sure the company.
That's a nice Oreo.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a nice looking Oreo. Say bathroom, Weiss.
Oh god, it's gonna be.
The company gave him his own parking space.
What kind of voice was what?
I'm going to go get some more.
What is?
Okay, by the way, really hard to simulate food and physics, so this is quite an impressive shot.
Oh, oh, it's gonna hit. Oh,
meat.
Their faces.
Sorry, language. What a meat shield.
That works too.
Yes. All right. Hey, you know,
that's great.
T-pose for dominance. Anyway.
Your room's upstairs, guy.
If it works, it
well,
works.
We've already established. He doesn't go up those stairs. He runs around.
I was gonna say,
and runs up different stairs.
Also get saved?
Yeah.
Fair amount of autonomy for the past few years, James. But what we need now.
What we need now is a better voice actor for you.
Principal Skinner, I'm gonna need you to shut up.
We had no prove our drones weren't acting on orders at Beacon. At this point, the closure of Atlas.
Guess who's gonna pop?
I feel like Winter's gonna pop more than anyone.
Right.
James is used to being slandered.
Right, the little finger tapping thing is
They want to know why.
literally a timer.
Quite right, Ms.
I think.
There's more than just your choices that have brought harm to our citizens as of late. Additional evidence as to who is slaughtering innocent civilians down in Mantle.
The details of which are classified, I'm afraid.
I'm afraid of the ever-growing list of classified. I asked our fellow councilman here to shed some light on your Amity Coliseum project. And
Alright, Winter. You need to play the befuddled daughter. Distract him.
The Amity Project will help with all of the issues you...
Or just stab him.
Actually, we talked about the seating arrangement. I like the way that they're showing this. Like, Robin is directly in the middle, not sure which side she's on right now.
Damn it.
General, if I may be blunt.
Yeah. They don't trust him. Yeah.
The hacker who turned Atlas drones against us was never captured.
Mm-hmm.
Still at large, how are we supposed to give you our trust when you've given us nothing at...
I mean, he has a point.
Enough.
Oh, cute waitress girl.
I know, she didn't do anything.
Oh,
it's Neo, guys! Anyway.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Where's Mom?
Schnee?
She was there.
Okay? I'm fine, thank you.
Why are you here?
Wait. Oh god, it was Neo, or something like that.
No, but why is there a random waitress this far into the manor?
I mean, the kitchen might be
that's
far
where
away.
they
We don't know where the
something
kitchen
like
is.
that.
The kitchen?
Did I just see a dead frame?
Or maybe... Hold on! It is...
Willow!
Yes!
She doesn't look like she did in the photos.
I'll be fine.
She was far
Just let
away.
my emotions get the better of me.
Little sister coming
What
to
do you
comfort her.
mean?
Try me.
Right.
Aww.
I don't think she...
This
Good.
place holds a lot of memories for me specifically.
Okay, good.
Me. I sounded like a petulant child.
Yeah, you know memories, right, Penny?
Precisely the problem. I should have just stayed in line.
Don't
understand.
What?
Oh.
What?
That was
Don't
quite
like she's
nice.
speaking out is not necessarily a good thing sometimes.
I'm sorry I couldn't come down for your party.
It's okay, Mom.
What? Office.
Just looking for something I left.
Is that young Jacques?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's always been...
I think so.
You left.
She mentally ill, probably?
I need to
Yeah, but that was
As well
drunk
as-
off her sausage.
Why?
Something wrong.
I thought we all simply assumed that at this point.
Something about it.
Well, damn.
Oh. Small, subtle Titan grip. It's quite nice. Like a true Slav, just downing vodka.
Wow.
Like,
Okay.
like a champ.
That was, oh no, there's still some in there.
Mrs. Schnee. That's a power move right there.
Oh.
You put a camera in here?
I put them in every room of this house. For our safety.
What?
You have
I need to run.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, I get it now. Yeah.
Hug her. You coward.
I'm afraid your father may be involved in something more dangerous than he No matter what happens, don't forget about your brother.
Whitley wants nothing to do with me.
You left him alone. With us.
Yeah.
They're humanizing Whitley. Yes.
Yeah.
Something I can feel a little bit.
Part of me.
No, it makes absolute sense. Like, that's beautiful.
Who are you? I am on a rooftop in the rain.
I am the man who twiddles his mustache in the night.
Water.
I am Waluigi. You know, I could just stand under a cover, but this is more cinematic.
I could have probably done this from the top floor instead, but, you know what?
He turned off the rain.
He did turn off the rain. Oh, was something heating?
Oh, they were melting the snow?
Oh god,
they were using those heaters to melt the snow.
Oh, that's cool.
No, they're turning off.
That is cool. Also, they're gonna freeze to death.
Yeah, they're gonna freeze.
That's hilarious.
Bad. Oh, okay.
All right.
That's pretty cool.
A Miles episode.
Nothing was said. Everything was implied in that last scene. That was quite nice.
Yeah. That was actually really good. I like that episode.
So good.
I'm not alone, right? I'm not crazy right now.
No, I mean I like everything, but I don't count. I guess,
but
this was very good, like
nitpick.
in everything,
pretty
like
solid.
depth and all.
That's pretty great.
Okay, one nitpick. Come on, Klein. Really?
He got let go.
Well, J. Michael Tatum probably
he helped one of the daughters escape. He's probably in jail right now.
Yeah.
Yes, but J. Michael Tatum's sexy voice.
Expensive sexy voice.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, come on. You're not telling me that what they were spending on Vic Mignogna, they couldn't now filter a little of that down, all right?
I don't know. Raymond,
they don't have to pay for him anymore.
Raymond, I don't know if you've heard, RWBY hasn't gotten a lot of positive reception in the last couple years. They haven't been making the big moolah. They make enough moolah, but not the big moolah.
I thought they were doing pretty good.
All right. Okay.
I mean, they had to quadruple their first prices.
True.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, true.
I don't know.
All right. Before I forget, because I wanted to bring this up, the doctored footage of Penny. I realized this in a stream I did with the Crimson Cipher or whatever, the Reaper's Cipher. That is it. I noticed in the footage that the footage that was doctored was from Penny's perspective. It wasn't actually a camera that was in the room. It was literally the same scene that Penny was watching of Tyrion stabbing a guy. It was what she was watching at that time, but doctored to be her. So literally for that scene to work, it was Penny watching herself kill a guy. There was no camera on the floor. Who puts a camera, any kind of camera, on the floor?
That's either a plot hole, or, as I was described earlier, a bit of ludonarrative dissonance, you see, Raymond, where the...
Okay, that's not ludonarrative dissonance.
Because it's meant to be a camera shot that we weren't technically allowed to see.
It's a technical one. It's a... I get what they were going for, but the dumb fucked it up. I have to censor myself.
Why didn't they... I mean, they easily could have said that, right? They easily could have said, okay, wait, you think this is footage of Penny killing people? Well, find the camera. Like, show me where the camera
I'm still
is.
not... Well, I mean, the other argument is that Ironwood controls the police force and the entire investigation, so of course he would cover it up. So, like, my main stupid problem is you have Robin in the room who has a lie detector quirk.
Oh my god, do you think Robin's going to use the lie detector quirk on Jacques?
Yeah, and I think Jacques is smart enough to know to tell false lies. Or not false lies, what is it? White lies that are true, technically. Like, you know, if he says that he's never seen Salem, he's not lying, because he hasn't seen them.
I think just really asking, do you have an alternative agenda?
Everyone has an
to the well-being of Atlas.
Do you think she's smart enough to ask that particular question?
I don't think the writers are smart enough to ask that question.
Yes, I intend to get a little bit rich off of this as well.
Yeah, that makes a good dynamic, is him being like admittedly scummy. It's like, I intend to get rich off of this,
but not enough scummy to admit that he's working to destroy, you know. Yeah, like, they'd have to be super specific. But not even on Jacques, on Ironwood. The only thing is that Ironwood isn't telling anything right now. He wants to tell them, but he wants to get the tower done first. It's just... the whole point of having a lie detector quirk. Oh, I keep calling it a quirk. I've been watching too much My Hero Academia. Same difference, semblance.
We need to get back on that. We're 3 episodes behind.
Oh, we are getting good, man. Anyway, yeah, the whole lie detector semblance completely ruins any sense of intrigue this has for me.
I mean, you just explained a way that it couldn't, that it could avoid, because because she might trust Ironwood, but it doesn't mean she trusts Jacques, and it doesn't mean that Jacques is going, if he could wiggle out of it, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, if he could wiggle out of it with the right choice of words, sure. But I don't know, it's just, perhaps we don't, maybe there's limitations to her power or something like that. But on the surface
I just realized
level,
something, guys. I've been recording with my headset and not with my microphone.
Oh, joy.
Oh,
God!
That's gonna be fun for
you.
It's okay. All you have to do.
I have you on. My face.
Don't worry. My microphone itself is my headset microphone is all right. It'll be fine.
All you have to do is listen to the recording of yourself and just follow along, speaking it into your microphone. That won't sound scripted at all.
Oh, that would be fucking hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
I need to time it with my actual footage too. I need to put this back in.
Oh, you could always just re-record the entire footage too.
Just sync up.
Just
idiot.
Or we can swap voices.
Yeah.
I'm okay. That should be better.
Hire J. Michael Tatum to be your voice.
God, we should do.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds amazing.
Okay, but so let's go through this episode step by step. They have the weird conversation where Yang just immediately jumps to, oh yeah, Jacques might be working for Salem.
I think they were talking about Salem right before all that. They were talking about the whole.
Well, I mean, the other idea of who else, right? Because they know Tyrion is involved because they trust RWBY, so they know that Salem is involved somehow, and the other alternative, they know Ironwood's good. They know that Robin would not want to murder her own people. So the only other exterior party would be that Jacques and Salem are somehow in bed together. Which, don't Google that, by the way. Tons of people will fall for. Anyway.
I'm just saying that, I get where her jump was. It just seemed like they're maybe missing a line or two of the conversation that leads to that a little more smoothly, but I can get where she's making the logical leap. It's a safe enough one. It's kind of it's not quite an Evel Knievel type leap, okay?
Well, Yang has never been the smartest bumble in the beehive.
That might actually be a boon in her favor in this, because it's sort of like, oh, she's such an idiot, she actually stumbled upon the right answer. But I don't think that was the case.
God, okay, there's something I noticed when I was editing the last reaction that none of us caught in while we were actually reacting.
Cool.
But so Pietro is talking about who has access to the Atlas systems, and then he's like, well, besides the council, the heating and sewage grids are connected to Atlas. And then Weiss is like, the Schnees have access to the heating grids, but there's a Schnee on the council, so why did that matter?
Well, now there's a Schnee on the council. Now there's a Schnee on the council.
Diplomatic immunity. Pretty much.
Oh god, if Jacques goes full Palpatine, I'll be happy. No, I am the one with dust.
Jacques kills the Winter Maiden, becomes Maiden.
Right. Other than that,
who's gonna get Mace Windu'd?
That first scene was ultimately, I think, harmless. I mean, all these scenes are pretty harmless. Actually, we're all pretty good.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty good.
This is actually really fulfilling to me because we've been waiting since volume friggin' 1 to see and witness the family dynamic of the Schnees. And we've gotten bits and pieces of it. Even in volume 4, we got a little more elaboration. It never felt like we quite culminated in what we were looking for. This feels like we're actually leading somewhere, and it's leading somewhere strong. So it's doing it in a strong way. I don't know how to say it otherwise, but this is so.
Who's spraying aerosol?
Sorry.
Okay.
Fat man and his fat stank.
Otherwise. But we saw Schnee Manor, and I'm liking Schnee Manor. It's fittingly imposing. That has nice decorations out front, a little bland in the back. Could do with a few more gargoyles, I'm thinking, but I think it's good overall.
Yeah, speaking of little statues, there was a little raptor on the cars, like in the front, like on the hood ornament. It's like a little dinosaur. There's no dinosaur anything there, right? Why would it be there?
Dinosaur faunus.
Weird. Yeah.
That'd be pretty rad.
A dinosaur faunus?
Oh my god, it is a tiny little dinosaur.
Yeah, it's like a little raptor.
Oh, it's a raptor! It's a raptor for Monty.
What? Oh,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
Because I think it was for Christmas one year, Monty mocked up an image of Ruby and Weiss wearing Santa hats riding a raptor.
That's pretty cute.
And like that,
I had no idea.
The raptor became like an internal mascot.
On that, this has probably more than anything else been the episode of little details that have actually been awesome.
Yes.
Like, there's the car thing. I mean, we're making an assumption of logic there, connecting the raptors to Monty and all that. But
well, I don't see another.
Well, I mean, the raptors were his thing.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that's
okay.
Like that wasn't like a RWBY thing. That was just
that sounds
on
just purpose with the Christmas deal. But you know, cool. Whitley's animation, Whitley's voice acting, the way that Robin was seated. So the way that the table was working, just visually, you had the two sides, Ironwood and then Jacques at the other end, and Robin was dead ass in the middle, not sure which side to be on, which is very interesting.
Like goddamn 20 seats on that table.
I mean, I every single time, if it's one thing I did notice about the audio, it felt a little bit like everyone was inside a studio and it was all professionally recorded. When this is a big house, right? There should be a little bit of echo and reverberation. Yeah. And when Jacques is talking down from miles away down the end of the table, and it comes through crystal clear in Ironwood's ears, it sounds a little...
Well, that's just because Jacques invests in really, really good sound paneling. It's just like, he's so rich that it's just seamless. The walls are actually just all
implanted in his awesome mustache.
Jacques is actually a Twitch
It's like a filter.
His mustache semblance, his mustache has a semblance of all its own, and it regulates the sound in the room, so everyone sounds at room level.
Well, I mean,
no matter how far they're talking to.
That's also a good point. You know, the Schnee power of being able to summon stuff. Does that come from the mother or the
mother?
The father.
The
mother.
The grandfather, like the Schnee man.
So because Papa Schnee fights for the trees. His power could be anything.
Yep.
Interesting.
Another little detail, absolutely no one wore any kind of formal dress to this event. Like, it would have actually been really funny, like, I think it would have been a good visual gag, is having just one person in their
probably
group
Jean.
Get dressed up for this.
Yeah, Jean would get dressed up.
Jean, I see Jean doing
Jean. Well, I was thinking, like maybe, it'd be, Yang, or Ruby, or maybe Nora,
or
Penny.
Not see Yang in a suit.
In a suit. I was just saying, she'd be in a dress. Maybe Blake. Maybe Blake's dresses. That would be actually really cute. If in the White Fang, we never really got dress up parties.
I mean,
yeah, but you gotta admit, the first person you think of when they mess up about a dress code, it's gonna be Jean. That's.
Would he bring back those memories on purpose?
Yeah, I think that might still be too raw for him.
He reads the invitation that says "dress nicely," and he says, "Well, it's the only dress I own."
Not literally a dress, guys. I'm talking about miscommunication. But
yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're not there for the party. They're just they're literally there to pretend to be huntsmen. I mean, they are huntsmen, but they're pretending to be, there so that they can snoop around.
Yeah, but
they don't actually have a reason to be there besides Ironwood brought his huntsman today.
Yeah, but if I was going to a fancy party for an undercover operation, I would want to dress a little fancy. All right, I would want to maybe pull out the Bond outfit. Okay,
you need to. You're not supposed to. Okay, you need the plausible deniability, right? Because they're not sneaking around. They're posing as being there for a reason. So, and that reason is we're Ironwood's personal security. They're not pretending to be guests of the party.
Yes, but what better way to be a bodyguard for anyone than to be cloaked and disguised and be oh, I'm just an average party goer. I know I've got a knife to your throat.
No, you'd be honestly a terrible spy.
Well, speaking of spies...
They have a reason to be there. It would be stupid not to use it.
So speaking of
what I'm
spies...
saying is that, like, people can have personality quirks and be fun with it. Like seriously, having one character, just one, being the odd man out and just, like, enjoy... Like everyone's like, we're supposed to be on duty. It's like, I'm enjoying the party. Look at all this food.
So, speaking of spies, the waitress. I went back and checked. Same hairstyle, different hair color slightly.
Oh yeah, no, I was never implying that it was the same waitress. I'm just asking what the hell a single
I am
waitress
implying
is
it's the same waitress. Because they put a lot of emphasis on that waitress. Like, the way that Winter leaves the room, bumps into the waitress sort of stands there. There's no real reason for that, other than, you know, it's a little detail. But then she sort of stands and looks at the camera a little bit. And then we cut back to a scene where they see another waitress holding the same tray with the same hairstyle, just different hair color a little bit. Might be the lighting, I'm unsure. I don't...
Well, I mean, that's a pretty stark difference in hair color.
Yeah. Could be the lighting.
Although I am thinking,
else.
because they put so much emphasis on the waitress, do you think they're going to try and poison the people at the dinner? Do you think Jock's going to be like, I poisoned all 3 council members other than myself?
Neo and not Salem, Cinder aren't with Jock and Tyrion right now. They're in their own evil gang.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, do you think Jock just might straight up try to poison people? Like, oh no, yes,
if that was his game, why would he invite?
He poisons himself.
The people who.
That's the only way you'd do it.
Yeah, he might try to frame.
I'm more leaning towards that than anything else. Maybe like he has robo juice, and that's gonna make Penny go haywire. Convince Penny to drink the wine.
But when I was saying, like, Jacques has, like, a point, like, from the outside, you know, looking in, obviously nobody knows about Salem and everything that Ironwood has done. He really just always keeps it confidential. But, like, as a city, as a council member or whatever, I guess apparently it has nothing to do with them knowing anything about, like, Ospen and stuff. So, he's in the right. Like, Jacques is in the right. Like, he's like, you want trust, but it's been a while now, and you failed a lot already.
Yeah. I mean, that's what made this so tense, is that Jacques does have the upper hand here, even in some, like, and from an outsider sense, he has it morally, which is really kind of disgusting.
Oh yeah, he has complete control over this entire situation.
Fun fact, I didn't notice this on my first thing, but the behind him in the dining room is an image of just him, Willow, and Whitley, and it looks fresh. But it's basically without any other family members. I think that's a nice little touch. It's a sort of like, screw my daughters. I don't need them.
Speaking of Willow, absolute Slav champion, putting that vodka bottle away like a champ. My God.
Not away, but she definitely was.
I'm not sure if we should be encouraging that behavior.
I wish she had put it away. There was still vodka left.
A little bit, you know.
Like,
she knows how to save something.
At least she's still. At least she's still. You know. At least she's not still in the garden. That's what I'm.
She was saving room for one of those tiny little Oreos.
Those Oreos with the little mint on top, pretty cute. Okay. Speaking of that one scene, okay. The comedy in this volume has been like hit or miss and whatever, right? But this would have been like super cringe if it didn't finish off with the glass of wine on Whitley. That was because I was like, so predictable. And then wine, I'm like, done. That was fine, beautiful, clap, clap, clap.
That was better than I was expecting it to go anyway.
You know, I'm so glad that they left the luck dude powers out of that situation. Because if the plan was going to tits and he just rubbed his little badge and then the wine happened, I was like, oh, well, that's boring. But just happening by chance makes it so much funnier.
Actually, it would have been even better if they just had, like, Crow standing behind them. I do like that Crow turned down the alcohol.
Yes, that was good.
Very interesting dichotomy they kind of set up with him and Willow.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
different experiences.
I guess. I'm going to be back in about 5 minutes. I need to go to bathroom break.
Yeah, they had a lot of fun with split screens this episode. But, okay, can I just talk about the guy council member dude, and how his voice is just so underwhelmingly, like, just underwhelming entirely.
Yeah, it was like monotone, yeah.
He's like, yes, Jock, we need to do what we need the tax returns. We need to,
The tax Chicago.
What was his name?
I don't know. Does anyone care?
He's gonna die. It's Councilman Sleep. Yeah, he's voiced by Chad James, who I think is an achievement hunter guy.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And I saw that Caitlin Glass was Willow.
Who is that?
Winry Raphael.
Oh, Winry! Interesting.
Let me go look up.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, because you haven't seen Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah. I'm gonna tie you down, make you watch that.
That's an interesting choice for Willow, but she's a good actress, so...
She did a great job. She did a beautiful job.
Yeah, if anything, I was just kind of weirded out by some of her writing, where she was like, you left. Like, that line in particular was kind of off to me, but, like, other than that, I thought the writing on her was, like, the writing this episode was surprisingly competent. Like, I have very little complaints. And this was a Miles episode. Miles!
I mean, again, we do have to ignore that if Remnant had evolved alongside the Grimm, that none of this would have been happening. So,
yeah, okay,
like,
look.
So we're here now. Now.
That's a sin.
We've
from
already
Monty's
accepted
era, all right?
so
that's
much.
a Monty sin for all we know. And Miles is just living with the cleanup of this. But Miles, I am impressed. This is a competently written episode. Actually, a very well written episode, I would say. Even like I would go that far. Like I would give it a solid 7 or 8, even out of 10.
The part where Willow was like, you left, whatever. The high functioning alcoholics that I've been around, they always start off like kind of weird like that, and then they compose themselves and then they talk. But this gave me like not only depression feel because it's obvious or whatever, but like almost like schizophrenic. Like, wait, like she was almost talking to herself, convincing herself or something. I get what you're saying with that, but everything else was beautiful. Do
you think it's a Schnee thing? Do you think that was intentional? Because I mean, the like borderline schizophrenic mannerisms. Because like I mean, if you think about the fallen foes thing, it's just like, oh well, she's absorbing everything she kills so that she can summon it again through her semblance. So like, if you have a high body count, you have a lot of souls clanging around in there.
A Targaryen alone in the world is a terrible thing. Is it hereditary? Is she going to go mad? Is Weiss going to become friggin' Daenerys? Like how awesome would that be if she like kills a Grim Weaver and then like summons it and just goes on a friggin' rampage through Mantle?
Game of Thrones season 8, the best one. Let's rip that off, guys.
Everything else was great, like especially a mother pleading to, no matter what type of a little piece of crap Whitley has been, he has every right to feel that way if he feels abandoned by his sisters.
Yeah, I like they're really humanizing him and they're doing it well. He didn't get a lot of screen time in the last, in the last time he showed up. And so, like, I was so worried, because he did have, like, future supervillain written all over his back.
Yeah.
But now it's like, all right, maybe I was rushing to conclusions about stabbing him, though I still think you should have stabbed him.
Oh yeah, things haven't changed for me, it's just,
Ruby laughing is adorable. Why is she the only one that's laughing? I don't know.
That was a little awkward for me, just that one part.
I mean, it was a little awkward. Like, her laugh in a vacuum is cute, but, like, no one else is laughing. Everyone's just kind of smirking, and it's like...
Brent's smirk was cute, too.
This dynamic was, This screen was a little weird, because it looks like Oscar's a little half baked.
He's like, my cheese Oreos, dude. Grab them before they're gone. Good screenshot.
Oh God. I mean, is there anything else really to talk about? I guess I guess I'm kind of getting annoyed at how many of these episodes feel like they're just setting up and setting up and setting up and setting up. Like that's been.
You're just now noticing that?
I mean, in this particular volume, like I treat every volume on a volume by volume basis, and like volume
like
6
the writers
was
do when they're figuring out the things that they should make the characters do.
Yeah. I'm waiting for some Last Supper shit to go down. That'd be kind of fun. Penny.
Yeah, I don't know.
Penny and
it's like.
You go.
Okay. So okay, like with Whitley and like with I guess Robin and the whole like council scene, they're walking back a lot of things with that you know, I guess a lot of like fan predictions, right? I think this episode was mostly like ha ha ha, all the fan predictions were wrong. I get the feeling that there was a lot of intention going on with that. People were like, oh, they're all going to have like a shopping montage. People were like, oh, this is going to be the Red Wedding. People were going to be, you know...
Well, it might still be the Red Wedding. We don't know yet.
It might, but that would make even less sense.
Yes,
like,
but counterpoint, this is RWBY.
I kind of want to disagree. Okay, I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out, right? This doesn't feel anything like the RWBY that we are used to. That was a garbage fire, where this is no longer a garbage fire. This is like they got the fire extinguishers and they're just spraying the garbage, but they're trying to put the garbage back together instead of like, you know, it's like they tried to put out the garbage fire to save the garbage and not the rest of the house. Does that make sense? They didn't really do some sense. I don't know. Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't want to give him too much shit because it's basically what I've been asking for, right? I wanted things to happen. I wanted the characters to do things that mattered. And that is happening now. Like, that is the case for most of Volume 7.
Should I put the
but at the
Ron
same
Paul,
time,
it's happening meme up?
Yeah. Can you Photoshop his mouth so that it's like flipped so that he's frowning? He's still going, it's happening, but he's like frowning. Because man, that Penny scene was so fucking bad.
I was gonna say, yeah, that Penny scene is like I like that they're building up this little sister, big sister dynamic between the two. I like that. On the other hand, yeah, Winter should not have lost her cool in there. That was like, especially because
I don't.
Okay, what I'm saying is like I'm saying like from a negotiation standpoint, Winter should not have lost her cool. I'm not saying that as a character.
She's consistent because she has lost her cool before, and where the general had to stop her. So it's like a character.
It's weird because it's like no matter what Winter does, she's emotionally constipated. Live with the Schnees, emotional constipation. Work for Ironwood, emotional constipation. What is going on with her? Like she just can't get.
I mean, that's a Schnee thing.
Happy.
I think like you're taught not to show. You know,
I'm just saying that her life choices could be better because right now Weiss is doing a-okay on that point. Like she's no longer having major outbursts. I don't remember the last major outburst Weiss actually had.
Mm-hmm.
Like Weiss is.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it was Volume 1.
Yeah, Weiss has chilled the hell out.
Well, she also has 3 other people to learn from, where Winter really doesn't.
Winter has Ironwood, a man that has become incredibly humble in his failures. And he now has
yeah,
Penny.
but he can't be humble in open. Like he can't be open about that.
True, but like
because like all the things that Ironwood is
steam.
Fatman, you're saying?
Yeah, all the things that Ironwood has essentially failed in are things that he can't talk about. Even though that doesn't make any sense. But again, we've already accepted that. It's fine. It's fine. But he can't go out and, like, tell people. Or at least he tells us that he can't. And then he has to keep all that bottled up. So there's this, like... I mean, I think he's choosing the worst option. Instead of saying, oh yeah, no, we know who killed people at the rally, he's being like, no, not my robot. And that's, like, those are two bad options. Even though I think casting even more doubt on, you know, like, the ruling class is the worst option for him at the moment. Because they're, like, okay, if he had said, yes, Penny did it, and she's being shut down, but she's not actually being shut down, she's just going to, like, the robot Bahamas for, like, 4 episodes, then people would be like, oh, well, at least it's fine. But instead, he's coming out and he's combating it, like, no, that footage was doctored, we have no idea what's going on. Like, he's choosing between we don't know and we do know and it's bad, instead of, you know, oh, it's been taken care of.
Yeah,
which, I mean, isn't a good option, but if Tyrion decides to lay low after after killing people at the rally, then it's like, oh, then that's fine. And if he doesn't, he could just be like, I don't know, it's a copycat to make me look bad. Like, I feel like there are lies he could tell that would be better lies.
I would
just
be like, we have a suspect we have a suspect under investigation. That's as far as I can tell you.
I mean, but they have that in Penny. Like, we're sending Penny to be reprogrammed.
Yeah, but like,
even though that's not the case, Penny. Even though like they know, it's like they're doing a lot to like spare Penny's feelings, and it's so infuriating. Like, Winter, in this scene, she's like, oh god, I have so many emotions, and Penny's like, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, you wouldn't understand. And then Penny's like, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I was using problematic robot language, but, there was like, that's why does the robot have emotions?
We discussed this. We went through this.
Because I mean, we didn't come to a satisfactory conclusion.
That you are satisfactory with. I mean, you know, doesn't mean it might not be it.
If you bang Penny, are you technically banging Pietro?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, Fatman, I have a question for you. Like, Dashie has a question for Fatman. Can you tell me a couple things that were good about this episode?
I liked how the Nora the Team Juniper plan turned out. That worked. That went way better than I thought it would. I thought that would be really stupid, but it like was.
Did you
really
also
funny.
think it was going to end with the lady?
Oh, I could tell that was going to happen.
No, end with it. Did you think that was going to end, or did you think did you see that wine go? Okay, I was saying before, what saved it was the fact that she threw the wine instead of like the food landing on him.
Yeah, no, I didn't think that the wine was gonna go. I thought like the lady was gonna get hit by the food, right. And then like I don't know, like I was expecting something stupid like for Ruby to yell food fight, and then Weiss was gonna sneak off.
Well, I was expecting for like basically Whitley to be like, all right, now I have to go take care of this and like lead the lady away to go get cleaned up, but like. You know, to show it would help build his character as showing like he actually like has like a sense of decorum, and like he takes care of his guests, that sort of thing. So where the hell is Britt? It's been more than 5 minutes.
I said 5 minutes, but Fatman, that was. Can you tell me? I had asked for like a couple things. I just want to know, like, what for you? What is like? Well, basically for you, what is good in this episode? That's about it, really.
the good. Okay, see, to me, the good things in this episode don't make up for all the things we have to accept to get here.
Oh no. Okay, let me in this episode alone. That's what I'm saying. I'm not. Let's not go into like deep anything. Like just this episode. Like just scenes, not history. I guess I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, but counting this episode alone is in itself a lot to ask.
Okay, elaborate. What do you mean?
Oh, like the whole history of the show? I mean, I mean, I'm sure that a lot of people are, like, I mean, I know that for a fact, right? That people are just willing to count an episode and be like, oh, there were good things in this episode. But it's not an episodic show.
I mean, you're right, but as far as just scenes and, okay, if you had to add, obviously, you know, the story behind it, that's fine, but, like, the way they're portrayed, like the mom, for example, and a mom who believes she can't go anywhere and is trapped and has always feared for her and her children's lives did they do that well? Not that mom, but a mom going through it.
Yeah, like you have to like there are several ways to rate the show, and certainly there's a lot of problems when you take in the grand scheme of the show itself, but when you get down to it, you can take the episode in a vacuum. You can do that. It's not the best way to view the episode, obviously, but like the idea is like each scene itself is an island, and you can kind of analyze how it was handled and how like all the performances turned out, and kind of try and figure out what the goal of the scene was. For example, that Penny scene with Winter, I thought was pretty bad because the goal of it was to make Winter feel okay about having an outburst when it really wasn't warranted. That breaks down when you set in logic. It breaks down when you set in any kind of logic. But then you have scenes where like it's Weiss and Willow discussing things, and I thought that was really well of a runaway daughter coming home to spy on her father. That. Hi, we're talking about trying to take the episode in a vacuum and stuff like that.
Take it into a vacuum?
Yeah. You have Weiss discussing things with Willow. It's a runaway daughter, come home to spy on her father, being caught by her drunkard mother, and like the interplay between them. That was done really well, I thought. I thought that entire dynamic was just really strong. And that's you can take those bits, you can take the individual parts and examine them and say, yes, that is a good nut and bolt. Yes, that is a good hinge. Yes, that is a good wheel well. It doesn't make a good car. It doesn't make a good car in the long run. They don't fit together. They're good parts for different they're good parts for different types of car. They don't fit together properly, and they're jank as all hell. But you can acknowledge that the individual parts are nice.
Beautifully said. That's kind of
here. I recorded the scene that you weren't here to experience firsthand. Go watch it. Is a good nut and bolt.
What?
Like.
No,
I think it speaks to the family dynamic.
She's as cutthroat as he is. She's just like more paranoid with it.
Well, I think it speaks to the family dynamic that, yeah, they are a very dysfunctional family. They have infinite money that they can spend money on. And they are backstabbing people. Like, the fact that she was curious but not surprised that Weiss was snooping around her father's office speaks to that there is a little bit of Jacques in Weiss, It's just placed differently, There's a bit of sneakiness and a bit of,
God, sorry, you said that, and I'm just thinking back to that video Adele made about a game of RWBY.
No, but more so that...
Oh, God.
I'd almost say that there's a moment of proudness or pride in her mother when she catches Weiss being as sneaky as the family is known to be. Underhanded is the word I'm looking for, I suppose. But, yeah, I can see what you mean. But, I mean... We would just... as far as purpose goes in the story, Weiss's mom would just be a trophy wife and nothing more if she had no independence or independent thought to think, hang on, my husband's up to some sketchy sorry for the language. I think I should probably get some kind of insurance so that if anything happens, I can at least be safe by ratting him out or something like that. Or, you know, she knows that this is a very dangerous household or family to be a part of. And she's in it for the long haul now. She can't exactly leave like Weiss did. So she's trying to protect herself. Well,
why... okay, but why is that?
Why is that? I mean, she is the mother. She has to look after I mean, just with Weiss leaving, look how Whitley turned out. It's like she has to stay so that Whitley doesn't just completely get mesmerized and become Jacques 2.0, even though that's slowly what's happening. I guess phenomenal family power would be in Jacques' hands if she left, unless she managed to take a chunk of the alimony, who knows. Also fear. You know, she just suddenly decides to leave. I can imagine Jacques being evil or petty enough to either put out a hit on her or frame her so that she ends up in jail or something. Or
I wouldn't be surprised if that already she has tried that.
Maybe, or something like that. Point being is that there's a genuine fear of this relationship, which mirrors a lot of toxic relationships in real life, where the spouse fears to leave. You know.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, she could leave, but great, now she's penniless, out on the street, has no money, has no house to live in, or she can stay here and live in a mansion. You know, why would you, you know... I don't know,
I'm sure there's different...
I'm trying my best not to say, you know, at the end of every sentence, and I'm failing miserably.
Well, how about we slide on into the questions for this episode?
Sure, that sounds good.
Because I've gotten pulled up, and I'm ready to go. Floof, who...
Hey!
Hi, Floof. Thought you dropped the show. Requisite, I thought you dropped the show gag. Yeah. Merry Christmas, Floof. Thoughts on Osmond using the Relic of Creation to make Atlas float instead of just using it to beat Salem? We don't know the limitations of the Relic, man. I'm not going to question
Yeah, I don't know that... Yeah, like... I don't even understand how it made how creating something made Atlas float.
Like me and Britt were talking last time, levitation is a transmutation type effect. Or is it's a not transmutation, it's a was it transmutation?
No,
or was
it
is
transmutation. Transmutation,
yeah.
You're looking for.
Which is, it's weird. It's weird how magic technically works in technicality.
You can also think of magic as, you know, it needs enough energy in order to float, and this thing can just endlessly create energy.
Yeah, that's true.
And speaking of transmutation, real quick, I wasn't sure if Britt was here. The lady that voices Willow is Winry Rockbell. It's Caitlin Glass. I don't know if you heard me. There you go.
From Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist, yes.
Caitlin Glass.
But similar on thoughts on Willow having the obligatory anime mom that dies hairstyle.
Didn't pick up on
Which
it.
she does. It's a side ponytail.
If they're setting that up, then I award them full points.
Okay.
The ponytail over the shoulder is the dead mom hairdo?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
No, but I think there's something.
Scroogey Sage asks, and this is one for Fatman, I think. Now that we've met Willow, who is best RWBY mom?
What do you mean that's just for Fatman?
If there's anybody here who doesn't appreciate MILFs, they can get out and walk.
I'm not saying just for Fatman. I'm saying this is especially for Fatman. This is like his area of expertise. But yes, I concur with his assessment. Callie is still best mom.
It's still Callie. There's no
Worst daughter, best mom.
Willow is good for when you need those drunken one night stands.
I bet Willow's fun at a party.
Oh, she could if she ever goes to one.
Well, look at her right now during a party.
Yeah.
Well, no, but this is like a fancy ass party. I'm talking clubbing.
Oh, yeah, that could be cool. Rixarts asks, do you think Whitley deserves to be redeemed by Weiss and probably Winter reconciling with him? You see, I think I don't know. Whitley, I like that I don't know how they're going to take Whitley, and it feels like his character's future is sort of in flux right now. It feels like they could say, like, he could dive down either path at any moment, and that's interesting. That's a cool dynamic where you're just not sure whether or not you could, like, because he's definitely right now very much in Jacques' pool, but you can see there's an underlying layer of good in him, at least to a little extent, that you could pull
could at
on.
the very least hear the logic of, hey, my father is on the side that wants to destroy the world, and I can't make money if the world is destroyed.
And not necessarily that. You can tell too that he is hurt. He has been hurt because the first thing that Weiss said was, "Where's Klein?" And yeah, it was pretty touchy of the way that he said it. But he's like, "Oh, that's a nice way to say hello to your brother," basically.
But it still hurt.
It still hurt. Yeah, that's the part.
I think
he's like, "Oh, now what? I'm the nice one."
I think
don't leave me up here on this, or like it's lonely at the top. It's
What do you mean?
It's lonely up here on the moral high ground.
That's hilarious.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
I think that like we had to convince Raven, or say convince, they fought it out anyway. But like get Raven on the side of good in order to get the relic last time. We're gonna have to do the same with Whitley. Like it's gonna be Whitley who catches Weiss and could either rat Weiss out to Dad, or Weiss convinces Whitley to help him out.
Or he sees with his own eyes that he tries to like kill him. His own father tries to kill him or whatever. And what was I thinking?
Or he could just go full on Azula and be super cool, but I don't see him doing that.
Yeah, I don't see him going full Azula. I see him being a little more like conflicted now that we're getting a better range of his acting. Mediocrity asks, other than J. Michael Tatum being out of Volume 7's budget range, did we actually learn anything? I mean, there was
a lot about
there.
Weiss's mom and their family dynamic.
Sorry.
We learned that we have seen the people on the council now. We don't have to learn...
That's learning something.
We don't have to learn anything instead of just enjoying it. I mean, I enjoyed this episode quite a lot, and I can't say I've learned anything in particular.
So I think this episode does imply that Ironwood personally holds 2 seats. Possibly because of the...
I still think they should have done the thing where he's literally, like, sitting across 2 different chairs in the dinner table. That would have been really funny.
Yeah.
Cameron, what were you saying?
Well, because there are only 4 people here. I mean, there are only 4 council members here, right? There's Jacques, there's Dude, there's Lady, and then there's Ironwood. So, you can't really have a thing with, where it's just like, oh, it's a tie again. It's like... So, I think he does actually hold 2 seats, and that's probably because of the thing everybody's been predicting since day one, that he's the general and the headmaster. And those are just 2 seats that, exist.
Yeah. You know what would have been a better plot for this volume, at least up until this point, was that it could have been Ironwood being, all right, look, so the guy that's stepping down now, the seat that's stepping down now, was like my strongest political ally. He was the one that basically gave me a monopoly on the council because we had a 3-2 vote. But now his seat's going up because he's too old to fulfill the role anymore, and I'm worried the next person going to be fulfilling it won't see eye to eye with me. And I need to understand who I'm dealing with that's going to be added to the council. So like that could have been a really fun intrigue plot, because like we don't know who the guy was previously. We don't know who, or he or she who was the previous council member that like that's now being filled. Like, and if that was Ironwood's biggest proponent, it makes sense why it was such a big deal about this entire election, at least to the main characters. It's like, if we lose this seat to someone we don't like, we're gonna lose like the strength we have.
Also, why was Robin invited?
Because Jacques is a petty prick.
Like, what was he trying to do? Just like, what was he trying to do?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I mean, it's probably just he invited everybody he knows who doesn't like Ironwood.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, like, does that make sense?
Fine. Yeah, no, that's good.
That's a very small list of people, then. No, Ross asks, on a scale of 1 to 10, how cringe was the party scene with Nora, John, Ren, and Whitley? All right, so here's how it
been way
worked.
worse.
It went up to about 9, but then on the last play they made, it went down to a solid 3. Like they with that last joke, they managed to cut an entire 6 out of that. That was very deft move. Very deft move. Brilliant play. Outstanding move.
And with no variables on what actually ranks the cringeometer that Raymond has constructed, we may never know how strong a 3 actually is.
I think
so I give it
a
solid 7 out of 400. I don't know. I thought it was fine. Am I my cringe lord, or did I just watch that scene and think nothing was wrong?
For me, up until about 5 on my scale is bearable cringe. But after you get past 5, that's where I start going, eh! And I was really worried that it was going to be like, I don't know. There was something about some of the movements there that didn't feel quite right. Like
the lady's voice too was like really awkward. Like she was like way too exaggerated.
Yes. Although it is nice to see more fat ladies in RWBY.
I think it would have been hilarious if it was the racist guy from 2 volumes ago at the party.
Yeah, the cousin.
I think it was a cousin or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, we didn't see any marigolds.
No marigolds. It would have been cool to see that because he was at the other party.
Yeah. No, Weiss told him to, get out, and he listened because that's character development, right?
Just for that one party, though.
Riccio asks, do you think that Ren and Nora's kiss should have happened in Volume 4 because it felt underplayed from a story perspective and not a character perspective? No. I think their kiss should have been in Volume 5 or 6, but not 7. I think 7 was waiting too long to address that.
I think 6.
6 is probably a smart place to put it.
I mean, they needed to talk about it.
Yeah, so like
maybe if they had talked about it, it wouldn't have happened at all.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I think the amount of time you can give between them kind of engaging the romance game and actually finishing the romance game with sealing the deal with a kiss, implying other things off screen, of course. The distance you need is between volumes 4 and 6. It's like basically you need a 3-volume thing to establish they're starting it, establish them kind of testing the waters, and then establish them actually finding like the balance they need to go forward at the beginning of their relationship.
Well, not wanting someone to die is different from wanting to make out with them.
True. But like that's part of the whole like middle section there. It's trying to figure out is it that I want to bang you, or is it I don't want you to go bang? It's like gotta.
Well, comfort and gratitude gets mistaken for love a lot.
Oh yeah.
And you'd think after a decade together they would understand each other a little more.
Maybe that same sentence can work for the other way too.
Yeah. Your boy Neptune, Padoru Neptune, asks Willow MILF rank. Slightly different question than last time, but what is her rank among the current MILFs?
Solid 4 out of 7,000.
Whoa! She's.
I mean, the lowest number is minus 10,000, so I think it's pretty average. If you ask me.
Okay, of course. Yeah, so she's above halfway.
Yeah.
As far as just aesthetics,
4
solid
out of 7,000.
10 out of 10.
I would say that she's. Well, let's see. What MILFs were there again? There were...
I remember when I used to rank things.
Raven, Callie, Summer, and Willow. Definitely above Summer because we have known nothing
and
about
Raven.
And, yeah, okay, she is second. She is second to 4.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Raven's hot.
I mean, you guys
I don't particularly think she's hotter than
Look,
Willow.
You guys aren't even putting
it's still something
list.
You shouldn't discount.
Raven's
horrid.
hairstyle. That just gets me.
One
Because I know that when I sleep with her, there's not going to be any consequences.
You know, I wonder why.
I just realized something, Fatman. I realized that Raven is your... What, Britt? Sorry?
No, it was just being spiteful.
Oh. I just realized that Raven is the same way I feel about Blake for you. Like, just aesthetically, she's hot. But kind of sucks.
Kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Character.
Yeah, she's
that
hot,
actually
but she
technically
sucks.
that's technically a boon.
That's yeah. That's a positive side. Yeah. There's some positives to that.
Actually, wait, no, we know from Tai Yang she doesn't suck. Or at least she doesn't swallow. I don't know. I was trying to go somewhere with that joke, but it didn't come to the direction I needed.
Man, that's a solid 400 on the cringeometer right there. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll give myself a 9. I'll give myself a 9. Floof asking about the dinosaur on the hood ornament.
Back.
Yep. Kaiser Santa asks, what do you think Willow contributed to Weiss's character arc this episode? And if not, how could it have been done better? I think it contributed, don't ever come back to the family. We're miserable here. Please go be happy somewhere else. That's about it.
I think she got Weiss to realize that she is a small bit responsible for Whitley's current situation.
That too. Yeah.
In the sense of, well, I took away the big moment of, yeah, your brother is a human being too. He's twisted and he's broken, but that's because you never fought to actually take him with you and try something else, or I don't know. When it comes to Whitley, obviously, if she tried to take Whitley with her when she flew, then that would have put her own situation at grave danger, which obviously is not useful. But at the same time,
also,
I kind of get what the mom is saying. What?
It's not like he would have come willingly either.
Yeah, exactly. But
she would have to knock him out, drag him away, and then think if Whitley had been involved in the entire Raven mess. That would have been just weird.
I don't know. That might have been better. Weiss probably wouldn't have
Yang walks in and Raven and Whitley are just in bed naked, and she's like, "Mom, what the hell?" When Weiss walks up, Whitley, what the hell? Wait, she's your mom? That's your brother?
When I imagine this inevitable confrontation between Weiss and Whitley. Weiss is going to be, how could you dare stand with my father? And then Whitley's just going to go, what choice do I have? My sister is in the military, you ran off, father is literally with me 24/7, what options are currently available to Whitley? You know?
You could always stab Jacques.
How old is he supposed to be?
It's a good question, how old is
Weiss? I think 17, 18.
He looks about 14, maybe 16. And the girls are meant to be, 18 now?
Yeah, around 18.
And yeah,
I think he's about 23. I would probably pin him the same age as Ruby.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's
what I was going to say is, I love the difference between what they did here, the way they handled how the mom asked Weiss to do that. It wasn't in a, guilt trip kind of way, because of you he's like that, or specifically, or, only you can do that. It was like a mother just reminding that that's what's up.
There are humans.
Whenever you can, look out for your bro. I like it.
So, Peter Flynn, or do you want to continue?
Oh, on the
Whitley?
Weiss and Whitley dynamic.
You sound so despondent.
I don't know. I want to, because it would be a prediction instead of what are they gonna do with Weiss and Whitley? Where is Whitley going in regards to this this good bad seesaw that we're on? Is he gonna be the new Jacques, or is he gonna leave Jacques alone and go on with the good guys?
If I had to predict how I would do it, is that the Schnee Empire is going to come crumbling down this season or the next, and Whitley is either going to have a choice to run with his father or run with Weiss, and he goes with Mom, and they live as peasants, absolute peasants, and it's like season 1 Weiss all over again, but Weiss has the what's it called when you experience your past self, but from an outside perspective? It's like, oh god, I used to be like that. You know, that kind of
self-reflection type deal.
Yeah, what's the opposite of foresight? Hindsight. That's it. With the hindsight of Weiss on Whitley would be funny.
I mean, to be fair, whenever Harry is in the room, it's always hindsight.
Whatever. I got it.
I feel like you've been forcing my puns today. I'm just off.
Oh, I had it too. God damn it. I mean.
Next question.
Oh.
Peter Flynn asks.
Okay, no, I was going to say, okay, bottom line for Whitley, something huge has to happen for him, and it has to be in his eyes, like his perception of it, not what people are trying to tell him. Is he needs to see for himself certain things in order to pick sides.
Yeah, basically. He has to be the one to see something, you know, something has to be bad to him, because, like, he's left, you know, he's basically just left alone with his father's influence. God, you know, the Willow scene just keeps coming back. Like, she's all scared of Jacques enough to put cameras around in case something bad happens. But, like, is she doing anything to protect her? Like, she's not doing anything to protect her son. Like, she has the Schnee power. Couldn't she, you know, use it to get away from Jacques?
Does Jacques have something that could stop it, maybe? Does he have a semblance?
I mean, okay, if you listen to the Volume 4 commentary, Jacques is the only character in RWBY who can't fight besides Whitley.
Oh.
Like, so, like...
why hasn't she just tried to kill him yet?
His power is
so it's like, there's really, like, the proactive solution would be just to either kill him, if she's like that, or to forcefully get away from him if she's like that, or to forcefully eject him from the family. Like, I thought in the Volume 5 scene, you know, Volume 5, Episode 8, hey, in Episode 8, alright, in Volume 5, Episode 8, Weiss was talking about how her mom was completely disconnected. And she's just like, oh, well, Jacques doesn't love me, I'm gonna go drink. But now it's like, oh, everything's scary, and Jacques can't be trusted, and I, you know, am still gonna drink. It's like, this, like, don't you have
disagree with that, Batman, because a child's perspective of her parents is different than the actual parent themselves.
Or what is actually happening.
I think that it's not that, oh, X has happened, I'm gonna set up all these cameras and go drink. I just think that they are a family of terrible people. Like, sneaky, underhanded people. At least the two parents, at the very least. So, she is just as underhanded as Jacques is, and knows that, hey, if I'm ever gonna beat this guy, other than just straight up murdering him, and then I go to jail, I need some kind of evidence to pin it on him, so that I actually have something to fight with. Because Jacques' battle? Jacques doesn't fight. He just has clout and influence and powers that be. Literally now,
well,
he's the president.
With that.
So Willow is just on her phone, and her text tone is Jacques slapping Weiss. Like, okay, I kind of want to know when the cameras went up, because that's another thing. Like, does she know that happened? Does she, like, suspect that? Like, oh god, I don't know. I feel like
how about we need to get more info, because
like
also
like
years and years of being abused, even emotionally, can really f up a person like you wouldn't believe. Like,
yeah, like I mean, even with you know, like, jumping off of Ninja's idea, it's like, didn't they do, like, I mean, they did the whole, you know, oh, gaslighting is bad with Adam, and now to, like, put that back on Willow, like, oh no, she's not actually like, doing this for an altruistic reason. She's just trying to, like, cover her own ass in the event that something goes wrong. But she's gonna tell Weiss that, like, that it's because she's afraid of Jacques. Again,
I think they're two different things, like, completely. Like, it's different. It's a sort of gaslighting, yeah.
Yeah.
But hers is like detrimental. There's kids. She can't leave. She's still worried. There's still emotion and fear of this man. We still don't know the full details as to what happened or how he has threatened her if she dares to leave. Like, we don't know.
Well,
next question.
Yeah, next question. Peter Flynn asks, do you think that Ren, Nora, and Jean should stay behind and not come back into the show until a later season? I mean, at this point, I think they're just mainstays. Like, you could have made an argument in Volume 6, but I think right now it's... I don't know where you'd leave them.
You would need to give them a damn... First of all, you'd need a falling out between... Or at least how I would do it is you'd have a falling out between the two groups. Like an actual just straight up disagreement. And then... you give the other team a convincing enough offer or mission that they need to go on while Ruby and the gang go after the main quest.
How's this for a middle ground, all right? There's a falling out and disagreement, and they leave John, Blake, and Yang in the middle of the tundra, and then Ruby, Weiss, Nora, and Ren go off to complete the rest of the adventure while the other three starve and freeze to death. I'm on board for
this. Good. That's not even. That's not even what I would want to have happen. Like, I don't.
No,
if you had to ask me,
in fairness, Blake and Yang have actually been really decent this volume. Why is it like the quality of their character writing is like in parallel, or it's like it's tangential? Not tangential. Perpendicular. It's perpendicular to the quality of their outfits.
Maybe I'm just going crazy, right? But especially with a lot of the background stuff that's been going on, I feel like Ruby is obviously the main character, but if I had to pick a secondary main character, it would probably be Jean over Blake and Yang and Weiss. I don't know.
Yes.
I feel like Jean has such a stapled chemistry of all of the different characters and a reason to go on this adventure, along with Oscar.
That happens to have been complaint like number 3 with volumes 1 through 3, and then he got downgraded in volume 4 a little bit.
I'm here for it. I like main character Jean. Maybe that's just me being weird.
It's just because you share a hairstyle sometimes.
He literally got it 3 weeks ago. And it has bananas.
No, because I don't know. I would.
I mean, MILFs though.
Honestly, I would take Jean over any of the main characters at this point.
Yeah, I think that Jean is
like including Ruby and Weiss, and like, because like at this point, it legitimately doesn't matter who the main characters are from a perspective of who the characters are on a personal level. That doesn't matter. They could introduce like Jimbo in the next episode, and he could carry the 4 relics to the god pool.
I didn't know Jimmy Neutron was in RWBY.
Like,
I think back to,
the characters with things going on aren't, or, like the characters are almost there for filler. Right? Ironwood is going to tell the people he's going to unite humanity. Nora wants to stop him. Ren wants to, like, help him, even though in the last episode, or in the episode before the last one, he was like, Ironwood's plan won't work, and now he's, like, all on board with it for some reason. Like, Jean has... Did you guys see the thing on Twitter? I don't know if I brought this up in the last episode, but somebody posted Tyrion's purple semblance destroying, or aura destroying semblance next to the god of destruction, and then Jean's yellow aura creating semblance next to the god of creation, and then brought up the line from volume 4. It's like, oh, you're interesting. Like, you do interest me from volume 4. Like, there's that dichotomy going on.
That is a...
Well, I think right now that they sound like they're opposites, since Jean gives more, or like supplies, or where he takes it away. I mean, that's basically it.
Jean is supply, Tyrion is demand.
Sure.
All right. Well, let's move on. Blade Charge asks, do you think Ironwood is paranoid because of something that happened between Volume 2 before Volume 2 battle in the city square, because I think even during then he had paranoia. Yes, and I think that goes back to the whole queen icon, the queen chess piece.
He lost a game of chess, and then when he was walking out, he like fell down an escalator and got mangled in it.
No, but as we were saying on the stream, I think like there is some kind of history there that we're not privy to that made him into a paranoid wreck during Volume 2 and 3.
Before he became, or even while he became a school teacher, he's a general, which means he is wholly responsible for the lives of the people in the city.
Do you think
I'd be pretty paranoid and anxious too if I had that much weight on my shoulders.
Do you think...
We definitely talked about it on the stream, which you should check out, because it was a really good one. It was really...
It's over on your channel, right,
Dashie? And it was good. Yep.
Yeah, you
remember to subscribe to Dashie's channel and support her on Patreon.
Yeah.
Pew pew.
Also, we seem to be neglecting the fact that something happened to Ironwood to turn him into a half robot bro.
Yeah.
Like,
very true.
He got mangled in some way or another that required putting all those robo parts in him.
He tripped down the stairs.
Yeah.
That's it.
In an escalator.
No, just stairs. Very sharp stairs.
No, I was just going back to. I was going back to thought.
Yeah. Yeah. You can let's just play it up, right? Play it up. Yeah. No, like him being paranoid, like him having confronted Salem. I don't know. They brought the whole summer thing up in that very terrible episode, where it was like,
I don't think they've ever met face to face. I don't think
they left and never came back, and it's just like, oh, did they get like did somebody from every continent at some point try to approach Salem?
Oh no. Ugh. All right, Kumbi asks. I don't know how you pronounce that. Kumbi. Kumbi. If we ever get a subplot about Willow getting over her alcoholism similar to Crow, how would you want that to go? I don't want it.
Yeah, no, I don't want it. Just
I think that would just waste time.
Leave that as the tragedy that is the Schnee family. And I don't mean that
Willow
as an insult.
to join.
I don't mean that as an insult. That is what happens when it gets this bad. It is irreparable and horrible.
Oh, no, I was going to make a joke about how Crow was going to find Winter in the hallway, and they were going to go off and do some fun things. But no, maybe I could switch that to Willow. Crow finds Willow, because that's a fan theory that's out there, is that Crow is actually Winter and Weiss's father. Because why not? Why not? Just have Crow bang half the casts and be everyone's father. How's that? It explains why everyone's so stupid. They all have some kind of fetal alcohol syndrome.
That's usually for the woman, but whatever.
Well, I mean, we're talking about Willow here, so.
Yeah.
Oh, duh. Oh, I'm such an ass. No, I thought, no. Oh, yeah, duh. Oh, God, I suck.
No, I want Willow and Crow to meet, and for Willow to be like, you quit drinking?
Yeah, coward.
And then she finishes off the vodka.
Yeah.
What did that vodka say, by the way? I want to see what was on that bottle.
But you have the next question. I'll read it.
So hold on. I do want to like point out one little thing, that Weiss, she sneaks into her father's office, which is fully lit, and then she turns around and her mom is just there. Like, did she walk into the room backwards?
No, her mom was under the table,
hiding behind the desk, and pops up.
I think she was just she was looking around to make sure nobody was like coming in, and just like looked down real quick and then closed the door quietly vodka. And then turned around.
That's what it was. 6 Swans vodka. Don't know if that's a pun on anything, but whatever.
6 golden swans.
Maybe. I don't. Is that from
Partridge?
I don't know what it's from. Cordially, also known as Corsica by me.
Yes, she is.
Why is the entire show against Ironwood? Why didn't the council act sooner? Because they're actually doing something that's integral to a good story, which is making you feel sympathetic for a person that's down on his luck. Like, that's a good storytelling technique. this guy has been through hell and back. We feel bad for him, and it just keeps getting worse. And so, like, when the hero starts succeeding, it feels good. Like,
whenever the lie pops about, you know, that Ruby's been technically holding the truth from Ironwood, oh man, that's going to be enough to push him over the edge.
Yeah, it's more than possible that it's going to be like he's going to basically get shut out of the council, or at least one of his seats are going to be taken away. Ooh, maybe that's why he brought Robin. Okay, that makes sense. He brought Robin to advocate that she become the 5th council member and that one of Ironwood's seats get taken away.
Didn't they just do an election? One of Ironwood's seats or both? They're going to replace him with both seats with Robin. And Jock's like, damn, why didn't I lose the election?
But yeah, no, so, like, it's very possible in that way. Like, where was I going with this? Why didn't the council act sooner? Because there wasn't an election to upset the balance of power. Like I said, I think that the person who retired or died or whatever was Ironwood's biggest ally on the council. So, let's see. Aiden Bells, thoughts on Willow as a character, mother, and RWBY? Kind of been over that. And is she wrong for being considered of Whitley a one-to-one reflection of Jacques? I'm not entirely sure where to take that question, guys. Anyone? Any thoughts?
Not a one-to-one reflection, but she certainly warned Weiss that, yeah, this is the road he's going down if you don't step in. I suppose that's a terrible thing to say, considering that she is the mother. But I guess it just reflects that she is not a very good mom. She cares, but she is too lost in her own drinking habits, like Crow was, just despondent and underhanded. Perhaps doesn't want to take accountable for Whitley, and would rather Weiss solve her problems for her. But hey, that's my take on it.
Akko, Platypus, asks, I thought about this for a bit. What are the odds that Watts actually plans on having Penny kill or attempt to kill Jacques during the party and frame it as though Ironwood is attempting a public coup d'etat? Low, I don't see that happening, especially because we got that whole like weird winter emergency thing going on that Watts was planning. So I don't know. Watts so far has proven himself very effective at planning. Even the quote unquote assassination attempt on Robin worked out better than I thought it would for the long game. I was worried about the long game actually being really bad, but that they're spinning it in a very smart way so far. But there's caveats to that, of course. But and then additionally, why include Oscar in the invitation discussion without the rest of Team Juniper? I don't know. Anyone else on those topics?
Not much I can really add.
I do have a question. Like not a question. They skipped like the meeting because like Penny didn't have to leave. So like, are they implying that the meeting is over when Penny went out to talk to Winter?
No, I think she probably excused herself to go talk to Winter. Though that would be kind of weird.
Why was she there in the first place?
That's a good question. Why is the I guess because she is one of Ironwood's right-hand
Yeah, part of
girls.
Ironwood's, yeah.
She's literally his right-hand girl.
Nobody else brought a right hand.
No. See, that's the thing, is that all those people in the party is Jacques' right hand.
Yeah, but why are they in the meeting?
Because they can't.
Like, they even bring that. They even like Jacques even says that. Like, are we safe with her?
And that's why she wanted to leave, because she felt, because she's so emotional, Fatman, that she didn't want to hear any of that anymore, and wanted to just leave the room.
I don't know. This entire situation is weird. Like, it's so far decently done, but like, there's always little weird nitpick questions that just make things fall weird.
I think that's going to happen everywhere, to be honest.
Typing Loud asks, thoughts on the change in how alcoholism is treated in RWBY? Crow being in alcoholism was treated like a joke in Volume 3, but now it's an issue in RWBY, not only with Crow, but Willow too. It's an issue IRL, but the sudden change seems weird. what do you think brought on the change of perspective? I don't, because like Crow being a drunk, being a comedic bit was because it wasn't a focus in Volume 3. But I think now that we focused more on Crow, on who he is and the weird fallout of the situation, like we kind of actually like, I think it's very smartly done in that it was introduced first as a joke, but then as you peel back the layers, it becomes a much more serious and deep issue. And I don't think it's necessarily, I don't know if there was a sudden change to it, but I like the idea that, especially because like I have very close relationship to the idea of alcoholism. I have family members that have gone through, you know, AA and that sort of thing. It's fascinating to see how they're actually handling this really maturely now, and like I'm appreciating it. I'm really appreciating how they're having Crow actively being like, you know what? No, I don't need the wine. I'm just gonna go on my own thing. Right. Actively avoid the whole alcohol situation, and it feels like they're really getting a good grounding in there.
Yep, I agree.
I mean, he's not going through withdrawals, is he? Him being an alcoholic never really backfired on the other characters.
Didn't they nearly die because he was the sadness apathy people?
Yeah, the apathy like kicked it into overdrive where he was just getting sloshed and falling asleep.
True, but they didn't need him. Like, it was all Maria then. Like, Maria was the proactive one there.
Counterpoint, it would have been way more useful if Crow had been useful.
No. What? The Silver Eyes saved the day. What are you talking about?
Yes, Silver Eyes saved the day, but they might not have needed the Silver Eyes if they had one more person actively functioning.
Yes.
One person against 20 million apathies when, like, okay, 6 people didn't help, but a 7th person would have.
Could have. I'm not saying would have, I'm saying could have. I get it, Silver Eyes saved the day, but still, it's like, I don't know, having an extra set of hands.
I don't know, swap out Crow for Maria, or swap out Maria for Crow in that scene. And
everyone dies, yes.
Everybody in the comments, write your fan fiction version of how that scene would have gone down if Crow was in the sewers
instead of Maria. But the thing is, I'm not saying you mutually exclude Maria. I'm saying you also have Crow. I'm not trying to swap characters. I'm just adding one to the mix.
Well, that would have just been one more person they had to drag out. You know, like
they already had to drag him out. I mean, admittedly not out of the cellar.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. What would have changed?
If he wasn't an alcoholic, he might not have been as susceptible. Like RWBY was able to stave it off.
Well, I used to think that was because of her silver eyes, because Maria, also, the silver-eyed warrior, was also marginally functional down there. But no, that was just main character anime powers. That was just the magic of friendship.
If he wasn't drinking, then they would have woken up earlier and left the house.
That's a fair argument.
Everybody woke up at the same time, though. Like,
no, he was supposed to woke up early, and he just kept drinking and passed out. And RWBY got mad and threw away the Green Dot brand bottle.
The Green brand drink, the absinthe.
Yes.
Yes. Well, but then the apathy would still be there. Someone else's problem, right?
Okay, so can we move on?
Yeah. Well, that was the last question.
Going nowhere. Oh,
that was the last question. Yeah. So we can start wrapping it up.
This was a wonderful episode that we may have nitpicked into eternity.
Yes, this was a fun episode. Like, one of the... I mean, again, last episode was my favorite. This might actually be my new favorite of the season so far. Like, they're clawing up. They're clawing up. They had a strong dip there in the middle, but now they're clawing back up, and I think they're working towards something here that could function very well. That said, a friendly... Okay, so let's wrap this up and go into the big shoutouts. Thank you all so much for watching. Reminder that that by joining my Patreon, Fatman's Patreon, or Dashie's Patreon for $1 or more, you get access to the Team Frostbite Discord server where me, Dashie, and Fatman are regularly active, and Brit is sometimes there.
Yep.
be sure to go over to Fatman's channel and subscribe there for the next reaction, because this one's going up on my channel. Subscribe to my channel so you get all the even-numbered reactions, and go over to Dashie's channel so you can get the post-reaction streams that we're all going to be doing, hopefully sometime after this airs. Probably the day that this airs, and in the evening. Be sure to just subscribe to her channel anyway, because she's a lovely person and deserves your praise.
Curtsy.
A shout out to every single one of my patrons who should be up on screen right now for your support you give to this channel. I could not do this without you guys, and I love you all. Be sure to follow all of us on Twitter for so you get updates on all of our stuff, because YouTube's algorithm is garbage. And I do believe that's everything. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll catch you all on the flip side, and have a Merry Christmas!
Bye!
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
My computer skipped right there. Merry Christmas, everyone, and all a good night.